And the award to most fitting thumbnail ever goes to this part.
Basically, audience, don't worry. For the sake of you understanding what Joey means, I'll have a little thing where I'll put in the thumbnail at the end of this video. Why not? So you guys can see it.
Or I can actually render a thumbnail based off of this for our playthrough because, well,
Sure.
okay, basically, folks, it's a fitting thumbnail. And you know, it's sad when a thumbnail gives us more to talk about than this game. Oh wait, no, this game will give us plenty to talk about.
That's right.
Terrible stuff, but speaking of talking, Hope is talking, by the way. Guys, did you hear that Hope is talking? I so
You know what's
needed the
sad?
game to remind me.
You know what's sad right now?
Yeah.
This is supposed to be the big, beautiful, open green area that is common in JRPGs.
It's ugly.
It looks ugly. You know what's sad too?
The music is too good for this.
You know what's sad too? The big open green area in FFXV looks better than this.
Wow.
You heard him say it, Sir Roy.
God, it's so painful.
Go away.
Great answer.
The encounter is ordained. You have been led to the fountainhead whence the chaos flows. Does that mean anything to you?
It's mostly because the art direction in this game is so terrible. Look at that hay! Look at that pile of hay behind them!
This game just screams reused
It looks like
assets.
a 2D sprite! It looks like a 2D sprite! I mean, not now. I can see now looking at closer, it's definitely an actual three-dimensional
So what
model,
exactly is going on right now?
Dr. Gizal, so we can learn more about the Angel of Valhalla, aka the sacred chocobo that's destined to ride the savior into that big palace where we're supposed to fight chaos, so that the game can waste some more of our time.
We need a chocobo to be ridden into the sacred palace to save Snow.
No, Chaos, Caius, aka the villain from 13-2.
Why do we need one to go up into the mountains? Surely lightning is a good
because
climber.
because of the level design, Jova. There's a big open gap. There's a big gap that is only possible to jump over using a chocobo. So.
Gee, it's not like we crossed a mountain range in Final Fantasy XIII. Oh wait, that's right, we crossed through several.
Yeah. Also, not just a thing, Jova. Sort of a throwback to the previous games. Chocobos with different colors have different abilities, and to pass the gap, you need the white one, which is the
ultimate one.
That was already a thing since 7.
That's what I mean. It's a throwback to the old games, supposedly.
Oh, okay.
What does that mean? Is it a different kind of chaos?
It's obviously Caius.
Of course.
The stock animations played during these particular types of cutscenes are so bad. Like that motion, that movement that he makes, like it's like the one Sonic. Remember that cutscene where Amy frees Sonic in Sonic Adventure 2, and Sonic does that. So Eggman is behind all this, and then he acts like he's swatting a fly. Like he literally just did a similar thing like that. Like what's up with Japanese games and this animation where it looks like they're swatting a fly?
Pedro, it's not a good time to tell you, but a lot of Western games do that too, like Mass Effect.
Okay, fine.
Well to be fair to you, that's Mass Effect. That was old.
The original Mass Effect is infamous for having some bad animations, isn't it?
And yeah, see, here's the thing. Too.
I've seen some cutscenes, and it definitely doesn't look as good as, say, something like I don't know, like a AAA game made by Sony or something like that.
Yeah, here's the thing also. When Western devs do that, it's often because they're not AAA and don't have as big a budget. Even then, that's mainly old stuff. Like, you don't see stupid stuff like that nowadays with Western dev stuff. Like, I mean, it's not even just an animation error thing. It's like they literally put it like in. Like, maybe with Sonic we could say it's an animation error because they're getting used to rendering characters with the Sonic characters' proportions, but in this game, nah. It's just stupid. Also, the music is too good for this.
Yeah, I love the music that plays during the Wildlands. All of them. Like, there's 3 particular themes that you can hear in the fields. 2 themes, one for this main area and the other area where we find main quest number 5, and another one that plays during sunset. Called Sunset Path, and it's an absolutely beautiful guitar tune. Again, it really is sad how such a wonderful soundtrack is being wasted on this game.
So sure it was. And we haven't spoken much. What are your thoughts on that? matter. Okay, she's there.
Beginning of the end.
Okay, so yeah, once again we find ourselves inside the chaos. However, there's no enemies here, so I can gain free EP.
Gee,
so...
the chaos even has purple orbs. Like, seriously, it's so obviously related to Caius.
Also, the music is Test of Fate, the one from the first game during the battle with Gurinder.
And I remind you, folks, Caius is one of the few video game villains you'll find that's even dumber than Nephilis. He even has a similar color scheme to Nephilis, go figure.
And again, he has the Soul Edge for some reason as a weapon.
So, it's weird though. We're trying to find Caius.
Oh god, I just saw the dog. There he is.
Oh god.
Don't worry, Theo. We'll get to him.
Oh, that's right. They brought back the Chocobo Eater from Final Fantasy X for some reason.
I don't like the Chocobo Eater.
In general, yeah, it's not really a great idea for a monster design.
Not just that, like the very idea of a monster eating and killing chocobos is just, I don't.
Well,
Maybe it's just because I love chocobos, I guess, but still.
Well, of course they gotta have a predator.
I guess. But...
Depends on the setting. It makes sense on the ecosystem basis.
I guess, but.
So we're fighting slimes now.
Basic. Well, flans more like.
You know, flans are essentially slime.
Pretty much.
Find peace.
Basically, yeah. Except slimes are charming because they're always with that wonderful smiley face. I kind of wish I was playing Dragon Quest VIII right now.
But Pedro, what about the metal slime, the one that actually makes you rage and throw your controller every 5 seconds?
But it has a charming smiley face as well, too. How can you possibly hate that?
Too bad you don't ring around.
Dr. talked about the great chaos.
Okay.
So, where are you supposed to find the Angel of Valhalla here? Like, Dr. Gizal told you something about it.
Don't worry, Theo. There's if you check your map, they have a little marker that telling you where you're supposed to go.
Alright.
I already know the place by heart because I've already played this game way more than I should.
I hope that I'm wrong about this.
Oh god.
I don't get it, guys.
It's not that
Hope said he's wrong about it. Also, I'm sorry, but wasn't Lightning speaking before they entered battle? Why is... Okay, question. When it comes to conversations, do they pretty much pick up where they left off if you enter a
do.
battle? Because it almost seemed like they skipped a bit with Hope speaking up there.
What they did, Jova, is that they just continue. There's basically each conversation is basically an audio track
There we
playing,
go.
and when a battle starts, they just pause the audio track and then resume it.
Could be a problem.
Yeah, it's kind of I appreciate the attempt.
Why not just
However,
have him
I-
speak during fighting?
That's also a better idea. Yes, I
Like,
wasn't
heck,
gonna mention
even-
that, but yeah,
Like, heck, even Mighty Number 9 fought to do that.
yeah, I agree. Like one of the things when it comes to this kind of thing, the best example I can think of is the way Uncharted 4 does it with that open area that we're exploring in the Jeep, where every time we leave, they literally, like every time we resume a conversation, they literally have one of the characters go, so like I was saying, or as I was saying, so Sully, you were saying, you know, like it's such a small detail, but it makes the conversations so much more natural.
Yeah.
You know. So oh, cutscene. Yay! Yay! Let's use a win the chocobo to emotionally manipulate older fans. Thanks, Toriyama. Thanks.
Not like he's gonna die anyway.
This is literally the shot the dog equivalent of a Final Fantasy game. Shot the chocobo,
To
basically.
be fair, Type 0 also kind of starts this way.
Here's the
True,
thing, though.
but-
Type 0 did
But
it
at least,
good.
but at least Type 0 had a much more excuse that it was started during a war.
Also-
it was a more excusable. Like this.
Also, forgetting all that, honestly, look. I don't care if something's cliche, tired, or whatnot. If it's done good, then you know what? Fine,
sure.
it's earned it. This was not earned at all. I mean, yeah, because essentially, from what I'm gonna guess, this hinders us from completing the side quest on this very same day. Am I right?
True, yeah, because of we have to spend an entire time trying to heal the chocobo so that he's capable enough to ride on. So yes, this is gonna basically render the main quest impossible to complete for this day. Yes,
And
like
this
you
is
said.
also a gameplay and story problem. Like, okay, we're constantly told about this chocobo, yet we didn't even see it getting attacked, really. I mean, it's just, we beat the boss, and,
Yeah,
and then,
he has a
oh, there's the
point there.
chocobo here. I mean, I can't really care for something when you don't put any effort into it, and don't say it's because of technological limitations, because I care for chocobos in the NES era. So, yeah, if you can't show something, then write a good enough script to compensate.
It's kind of like the beginning of Pirates of the Caribbean 3, where they literally start by hanging a kid. Like, when you have to resort to that kind of cheap manipulation, you obviously have no faith in what you're writing.
To be fair, they didn't have to resort to it, honestly, and that was more so... See, that actually fit with the context because it was also relating what was going on in real life. I mean, I wouldn't say they were trying to get feelings from you out of it for that one, because, you know, it's at the very beginning. Maybe if it were, say, played up incredibly somber and whatnot.
It's still a showcase of the fact they were trying way too hard.
Maybe, but honestly, I mean, I guess it doesn't bug me as much because, you know, that did happen in real life, so I'm just like, oh, hey, that's an interesting
bug me as
detail.
well, but I can still notice it.
I mean, I guess
Sure.
it doesn't bug me because it happened in real life, so I just see it as, oh, an interesting element or whatnot.
I haven't played much of Type 0 because I've been busy with other games. I do plan, however, on getting to it. But is it kind of like in 10 where they use chocobos as the equivalent of horses for wars and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Oh, so in that case, it makes sense. Why would
Warhorse.
something like that happen? Yeah, yeah, kind of like Warhorse. In that case, it makes much more sense within the context of that particular setting. This, however, it's just like, oh, suddenly the chocobo is completely wounded, and it just comes out of nowhere, and there's no context where this. Not to mention, this entire subplot is dedicated to it. Whereas, I mean, granted, I haven't played the whole thing, but if I remember correctly, the opening of Type 0 shows the wounded chocobo, or dead, I think. But it's not like it focuses on it or anything, or at least it's not.
Not necessarily on the chocobo, but to the character tied to it, and that's another problem because
The characters are bland NPCs. They don't even really
No.
stand out. We don't get to see much reaction to them regarding this chocobo.
yeah.
He's talking about this game too, not Type 0. But go ahead, finish.
No, in Type 0, basically, the character that was tied to the chocobo, the game gives you a big deal to remember it, one, but the fact that to the player it's showcased in the first 5 minutes and then through dialogues from the scholars of past 0.
Yes, the doctor is in huge surgery, which of course involves that woman just rubbing her hands over the chocobo.
Of course, Joe, but that's surgery, don't you know?
Quick, press your hands there, clip your hands through there.
Toriyama, this is basic directive.
Oh,
if you don't have if you don't have the budget to animate surgery, here's what you do.
Have it be in time at 10.
Not just that, Jova. Or you could shoot the scene in a way where we see the doctor messing around with his arms, but we don't actually see what's going on. You know, like that way you can imply the surgery rather than show it. You know, this is basic stuff, Toriyama. Come on, direct around your budget.
Like,
Also, let
you know,
me mention
again.
that she felt a connection with the white chocobo.
Wait,
Yeah,
that's
basically.
it? The surgery's over that quickly?
They did one of those fade to black time dissolves, I think.
Fair enough. Let me guess, the chocobo is now more trusting because we saved him.
Well, that makes sense, to be fair. I mean,
I guess my
not
only issue
to,
is that
not
we
to
never...
mention, Jova, trust me, when we do find out who this chocobo is, it will make an extra amount of sense of why the chocobo is so willing to trust Lightning.
Let me guess, the chocobo encases Hope's soul that we all thought was lost.
No.
I mean, would you really be surprised considering how Chocolina is a chocobo chick that's been sleeping and says his hair?
I will give it credit. It's that particular explosion that you just came up with is actually more stupid than the one they're going with, so I'll give the game credit there.
That weak.
Oh god. Is the chocobo actually, Lightning's Eidolon?
We'll see. Anyway, we've tried everything to coax him, but basically he won't accept any food from humans.
Let me guess, he'll trust Lightning.
Will kill him.
Well, we already established that.
Ah, that pride will kill him.
Oh my god, it's the tail of the dog right there!
Foreshadowing, Pedro.
Oh god, is that dog clipping into... Oh my god, is that
What?
dog under her skirt?
Why does the dog have a squirrel tail? I'm pretty sure... Okay, granted I'm by no means an animal specialist, but I'm pretty sure dogs don't have squirrel tails.
You should ask Kiri when she gets back.
Oh wait, hold
God,
on.
so
I don't
awkward.
think that's the dog we're thinking of, but it's
It's a
It's
similar
one of them.
model.
It's still a dog though, so my point still stands.
wait for it, folks. You'll see where this is all gonna pay off with.
Oh,
Don't worry everybody, you'll see the payoff.
Oh
You
dear
will.
lord, that map is so smushed.
It is.
looks like he recognizes you as his master.
Oh God.
Feed, he should recover.
So,
But of course,
okay.
Basically, we're gonna spend an entire time trying to get as much food as we can so we can heal him.
Some legendary bird you are.
If I do it,
Yeah.
will
I mean, don't get me wrong. I get that he's damaged and all, but you know, I'm sorry. He seems to be acting like pretty much a normal chocobo chick.
Yeah, the Java brings up a good point. While it is true that this is like the most sacred of chocobos, there's nothing about this chocobo that really is all that special in terms of, you know, what it can do. It's just a normal chocobo, basically. There's nothing special about this chocobo.
Like, let's compare this to Final Fantasy.
They could give this chocobo, like, I don't know, maybe the ability to fly like in 7. That would have been cool. But no.
Like, heck, you know something's wrong when even Final Fantasy 13 2 did a better job of giving different chocobos different personalities to the point where
Oh
they
my
even
god,
gave...
oh my god, the man is right.
Like, seriously, I mean, for as ungodly terrible as that...
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to bring this up. That woman right there, that was Dr. Gonzalez's assistant. Guess what her name is? 13. Get it? Because it's Final Fantasy 13, and we're going to run this joke into the ground as much as we can.
You know, if you're gonna go to that trouble, why not give someone a more unique design? Because I'm pretty sure she's one of those common NPC characters anyway.
Also, the mustache are clearly clipping from
Wow.
the speaks.
And what the heck was up with that shadow? Just... Oh wait, is that supposed to be a windmill?
It's a windmill, Java. It's a windmill.
It's moving so
Pay attention, Java,
awkwardly.
the mustache are clipping through the leaves.
It is.
It looks like a Tales of style accessory.
You know, I love how...
and those are not meant to look natural because, well, they're accessories.
That, Pedro, I would argue that those fit too much well than this.
And that's
I love
I told you already, but one of my things that I did when I replayed the Tales of Xillia was giving the eye patch accessory to Alvin and just sticking with it because it fits so well.
I love how the visuals are so butt ugly. Have so many problems that it can distract us from what the characters are saying.
yeah, like it doesn't help that the story. Again, if the story was engaging and the characters were interesting, then I'd be more willing to look past the visual flaws. I mean,
Like, you know, Sonic Adventure did not age gracefully visually, yet the gameplay and story are good enough to have me coming back to it. Compared to this is just embarrassing.
Yeah.
not just that, Joe, but that game came out in 1998. So,
Yeah.
and while I do think it could have done some things better, even for its time, yes, it was a product of its time, definitely. This game came out in 2013. It was made by the same team that made Final Fantasy XIII, which was a game that was a fantastic visual treat for its time, and still looks good to this day.
Hold on, this is a goddess's disciple. Who's the goddess that she's a disciple to?
Etro, I think.
Etro is
So
dead at this point.
Etro never, but
Alright,
Etro never really interacted
Then whose
with these
goddess
guys.
is that the disciple of them too? Since you know that.
No harm done.
That's the problem. Lindsay and Pulse are dead at this point. Etro is dead at this point. No one remains but William Elze.
So basically, there's a goddess's disciple without there being a goddess.
Anyway, this is actually one of the better side quests in the game. This
Wait,
woman,
why is she
she's a-
wearing Vanille's outfit, but just without the ornaments?
because they couldn't be bothered to come up with a different clothes design.
But seriously, it's the same tube top, it's the same skirt.
No, it's not exactly the same skirt, but it has a similar design.
Yeah, pretty sure that's the same
They
skirt,
basically took the same outfit and did some minor changes to it.
Like I said,
Anyway,
it's
yeah.
essentially Vanille's outfit, but without all the accessories she wears. Anyway, you were saying, Pedro?
Basically, this is one of the better side quests in the game. It's still gonna turn out bad because the payoff is not that good, and there's a particular NPC we have to talk to for this cutscene that, let's just say, going back to unnatural accessories on characters, he's one of the more blatant ones.
But hey, maybe the journey will be good enough.
Spoilers one. Anyway, hey, asshole, don't pass in front of the camera.
Everyone's
Anyway,
been kind and helpful. Goody.
Anyway, yeah, basically that woman is a farmer, and she's asking us to try to find her father, who went to get some fertilizer, and never came back. So basically, that's our mission: try to find Sorala's father.
You got that, Shiroi? Also that kid.
And that little girl just entered into that home for some reason.
Can
Okay.
we go in?
Didn't you?
No.
Oh yes, 100 years
So yeah, Discord is
Discord
being an
spared
asshole.
you, Shiroi.
Hope that I would be the man who found and caught the
That's okay, Shiroi.
That low poly haystack, Jesus.
That's okay, Shiro. This plot moves at the speed of a molasses, so it's not like you missed anything. Basically,
I would argue that the haystack Terminator boss in Conquer Bad Fur Day is better rendered than that.
Did I miss anything important?
Basically, Shiroi, we found the white chocobo.
Yeah, we found the wounded chocobo and we're trying to heal him back. That's basically it.
And this ever so legendary white chocobo needs to be fed, and fed, and fed for a long, long time, and he only trusts lightning as his master.
And right now we're also doing a side quest involving a farmer who's asking us to get some to find our father who went to get some fertilizer and never came back.
So yeah, sure, just like Spearwriting 3, this also legendary chocobo won't listen to anyone except Lightning, and he immediately considers her his master, according to the doctor. Oh, speaking of which, Shiroi, when the doctor was doing supposed surgery apparently was having their hands clipped through the chocobo, having a woman just rub a chocobo, and him just pointing and giving orders.
Again, that could been so easily fixed if you just.
It's the same as the telephone, Pedro. Like they don't know what they're doing.
No, I think it's worse than that too. I think they just plain don't care.
Oh, I'm
That's the
sorry.
problem.
I'm sorry. Are these characters still talking about Destiny and all that jazz?
I know, right? Seriously, the conversations in this game go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Jesus.
I guess it's their way of saying they have a lot of content because there's not much else.
Yeah, that's basically this game. It's all talk and nothing else.
You're not Ace Attorney, guys. You can't rely on just
Can you
text.
help the chocobo? Well, the doctor says he's out of immediate danger for now, but he needs quality fodder to get his strength back.
Wait, hold on. We found her father already?
I suppose that
No, we're just talking to her
lots
again.
of gazelle greens then, won't you? I could give you lots normally, but we've just shipped off our latest
Yes,
harvest
swat
to the
that fly,
city,
honey.
and we don't have any left.
So it's no use waiting for the next crop, right?
Actually, gazelle greens ripen ever so fast. They spring out of the ground right
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Our next objective is to find shit.
Father went off to the woods to collect
Enjoy.
fertilizer, but he still hasn't returned.
Oh, so I
He's
guess we
been
get two
gone for
side quests for the
days.
price of one,
The
then.
woods aren't that far.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, the thing is,
in the
the
sense
thing
that I
is, Joe,
guess
in order
we'll
to get the
fulfill-
best food in the game, you have to solve some side quests. So yes, basically, do side quests so you can solve this side quest so we can get back to the main quest.
But hey, maybe is this one also centered around finding her father too?
Least he could do is
No. This is just an extra conversation, still involving the same side quest. This is, this is an optional conversation. It doesn't have
Okay.
anything to. It's just me trying to, at the very least, give some more talk. This is, like I said, this is actually one of the better side quests in the game.
I mean, hey, you actually can talk to a character.
At least she's not asking me to check around town for all 13 clocks to see if they're working.
So why can't all other side quests be this engaging to the point? Okay, and by engaging I mean like, well, yeah, have some extra scenes go with the side quest like this one. I mean, yeah, and it's optional, so if you want to or not, it's like.
Don't worry, Jova. Don't worry, Jova. When we get to Ni no Kuni 2, you'll have plenty of that.
But is this the only side quest that's actually this well fleshed out in this game?
Yeah. This is pretty much the only side quest that is somewhat fleshed out, basically. Yeah.
Wow.
At least the ones I could find, because the thing is, Jova, this game is so boring that I cannot, for the life of me, try out every single side quest because
I mean, you don't need to do all the side quests. These side quests are kind of mundane and repetitive in some cases.
Yeah, most of them are. Like, that's one of the things that I love about Ni no Kuni 2, because that game really went above and beyond in trying to make almost every single cutscene interesting in terms of what you're doing in it, like, and give story context to it. Especially the ones where you're recruiting citizens for your kingdom. Like, a lot of times it involves some kind of storyline involving them. So basically, to give you an idea, you can recruit a maximum of 100 citizens for your kingdom in Ni no Kuni 2, and every single one of them has their own character model, their own storyline, their own voice acting, and they have their own overall roles that in the kingdom that fit their personality and everything. So everything about the side stuff in Ni no Kuni 2 is very fleshed out. Like, it's some of the best stuff in that game comes from the side quests.
That's always, okay, it's always a test of this. How good you are with side quests in masking the fact that, okay, a good RPG or MMO or whatnot, anything with side quests. One one way to show that it's good is by masking the fact that you're doing the same thing over and over with different layers. Because yes, essentially, yeah, when you get down to it, sometimes side quests are fetch quests here and there. What can be different though is, you know, the superficial stuff they put over it. Like you could be going after different enemies, or there could be nice dialogue put in between here and there. It's like,
that's what Nino Kuni 2 does. Go ahead, Theo, go ahead.
I forgot the Jova. What's the trope called? 20 bare asses, I think.
Regarding
what you just said.
you mean like regarding, you know, being able to mask repetition is different?
How side quests are structured.
Yeah.
There's a lot of TV tropes for that, so...
Yeah, that's exactly the big problem, Jova. This game, remember, in order to grind in this game, you have to do side quests. So this is a very side quest-driven game. And they go out of their way. Even Lautrec, for as much crap as I get at that game went above and beyond in trying to give almost every side quest. Yeah, there's the generic, oh, just go get this and blah, blah, and there's no story
like,
or anything.
The only character who doesn't get a side
But most of the side quests in Lautrec actually have their own storylines. There's even side quests that are sequel to previous side quests.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean,
so even if Lautrec can get this right, why can't you, Square?
It's no big deal. It's just
it really boggles the mind because, you know, okay, look, this game is made out of so many reused assets, so it shouldn't have cost that much to actually do stuff with them. I mean, yeah, you know, reused assets are one thing, but these quests are essentially just walk here and press X. Okay, see, look, now say in a good thing, like maybe Pirate 101, yes, I'm walking to stuff and pressing a button, but there's all these cool animations, dialogue to go with it to mask the fact that I'm just moving to a spot and pressing a button. Here, I literally, it's like I said, the way I consider it in Lane Returns is just, I'm moving to a certain space and doing this certain action, and that's just what it feels like. There's no sense of immersion, no sense of real fun to it. It's just a checklist.
Basically, yeah. It's, again, if you're gonna make a JRPG, or even a game in general, like Lautrec is not a JRPG. Like, if you make a game where the side quests are a huge chunk of it, you have to try to put your best effort into making the side quests be. I mean, when it's like something like an MMO. It's different because in MMOs, I mean, from what I can tell, I mean, I'm not saying MMOs can have stories. Of course they can.
Oh, MMOs have plenty of story these days.
Sure. It's just that with MMOs, yes, there are a lot of MMO quests where, you know, kill squirrels, go kill X number of jellyfish or something like that. But with MMOs, they have a lot of more interesting worlds, and there's also, of course, the sense of community with MMOs and stuff like that. Whereas with a game like this, I mean, again,
you're all on your own. Like, this is literally the opposite of an MMO. I mean, like Tia said, this goes against the spirit of normal Final Fantasy games. So yeah, okay, if you have a game where a sense,
kind of tries to do something like that, but to me,
couldn't you change?
More rewarding.
Couldn't you actually play as different characters in 12 though?
You did something
yeah, you do. And
this game doesn't even have that.
But that's the thing. 12 kind of does things like MMO should, but it still feels rewarding, and you feel the World of Ivalice.
Yeah.
To give it, there's a total in Ni no Kuni 2. Oh my God, these guys are still talking.
Wow.
I'm so anyway. See, in Ni no Kuni 2, there's a total of 175 side quests, and the trophy for getting basically there's a trophy for doing one side quest, doing 50 side quests. Oh.
So, guys, that character there, he has some stats above his head for some reason. In a cutscene. Yeah. Hello, Devs. Oh wait, never mind. That's a tree. It looks like a bunch of coding from here.
That was a signpost.
Why did it look like a bunch of coding?
Sorry. The basic gist of it too is that Ni no Kuni 2 has a total of 175 side quests, but platinum-wise, you only have to do 150. However, I have literally done 175 of them because they're all fun. And basically, there's 175 of them, but I would say about 80% of them have their own storylines. There's the occasional ones that are technically just, you know, go fetch this or go kill this. However, it's only like 20% of them, so it's not like it's that. And even then, the game in general is just so fun to play anyway that it doesn't really matter much in the grand scheme of things.
So apparently there's a side quest about lightning to fulfill the trials to become a hunter or something for some reason.
Actually, no, what? I've got a better comparison before we go. Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 15 has a Final Fantasy 15 doesn't really have that much of in terms of story heavy side quests. Most of it is just the typical go fetch this or go kill this. However, with Final Fantasy 15, it works much better because I did a lot of side quests in Final Fantasy 15. One, because trophy, and second, because
What also helps? Go on.
it gives me a lot of XP and good items. And second, the game in general is just really fun to play in terms of the combat mechanics and just overall exploration in general. So, again, if you have a core game that is fun to play, then people will be willing to put up with fetch quests again, because the game in general is just fun to play in general.
One more thing before we end. Another thing 15 does better than this, the banter. Because honestly, whereas the banter drives me up a wall in Lightning Returns, the banter is actually one of the reasons why I love doing side quests, because the characters have unique banter for those side quests.
They do, yeah. No. One of the best things about Final Fantasy 15 is the banter between the four main characters. That's those four characters hold the game together. They're so enjoyable.
At the cost of having a bigger roster, they have a lot of banter.
Well, actually, Java, we're fixing this up because now that we've got a full announcement of Season 2 of Final Fantasy 15, Luna is going to get her own sub-campaign and story where we're going to be able to play as her. So they're trying their best to add more playable characters on us. So, once again, people complain, I kind of wish there were more playable characters. Well, there you go. There's more. So Tabata's not going to stop until he officially pleases everybody.
I'll ask more details about this part because, yes, Soaks, by now you're probably wondering why we aren't playing 15 instead of this game.
An apology, everybody, for not talking about the game, but we're so bored that we don't see everybody. See you.
Yeah.